Hello again, everyone. So another quick life update. It's been a little bit of a while, so I thought I'd jump on here and just talk about what we've been up to lately, some of the things we have come down the pipeline, and how things are going here in Scotland. It's sort of spring. I've been really jealous of all the news coming out of Utah. It seems like it's been really warm. We've had a few warm-ish days here. Today looked sunny-ish and warm at some points and snowy at others, and there was a really cold wind blowing. But I did get outside, walk around, and I survived. So it wasn't that cold, I guess, because I'm a wimp. I'm kind of one of those people where as March rolls around, that's when I start to get sick of winter. Like in January and February, it's like, whatever, it is winter, it's fine. This is the season we're in. And then mid-March comes and I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, I'm done. Winter needs to be over. So there's been a few days to get me through, and honestly, there's been a lot of variety, which is what they always say about Scottish weather, so you can't be too sad about that. So this week is actually the last week of classes for Joshua for the semester, kind of. It's actually a little bit confusing, but they're gonna have like an Easter break, and then he's taking another small class, but it's kind of coming to the end of yet another semester, which is really weird, especially because if he weren't taking this other class, he would be like done with classes tomorrow, which I'm kind of not okay with. It's just going by too fast, and I feel like we still have so much to see and to do. So he's feeling really weird about it, I'm feeling really weird about it, and we're just not quite ready to be there. We'll definitely still be here over the summer and into the fall, but things are just changing and it feels weird because it seems like it hasn't really been long enough to be moving into a new era, but things are moving fast. Recently, Joshua's brother and sister-in-law came to visit. We had a great time. They had gone to London and Paris, and then they came up to Glasgow. We took them to one of our favorite restaurants in the city. It's an Indian restaurant called Mother India. It's lovely. And then the next day, we rented a car and we drove up toward Inverness. So that's kind of the northeastern part of the Highlands. Not the very north, but getting up there. And we didn't actually make it into the city. We never went all the way to Inverness, but that is where Loch Ness is, and so we did get a chance to go there. We stayed at a cool bed and breakfast that was run by a couple and their kids. I'm not kidding you guys. This was these people's lives. I was like, okay, how do you get that life? That I seriously wanted to ask them that, like how? But they were really cool, they were really nice, and they just had two little kids. They lived on the other side, and then I think they had 4 rooms, and it was the coolest place. We were so sad that we were only there for one night, but it was amazing. And Loch Ness is really pretty. Like, it wasn't the prettiest part of Scotland that we've been to, but that's not really saying that it's not pretty because all of Scotland's pretty. It's just a gorgeous place. And it's always hard to tell with the time of year as well. We are going back to Loch Ness next month, so we're excited to see it as we get more into the warmer part of the year. But there was a lot of beautiful things to see, and we went to a couple of castles. On the way up, we went to Castle Doon, which is where they filmed Monty Python. They also filmed part of the show Outlanders there, which we had never seen when we were there. And it's just a really cool place. It's got a lot of history, even things obviously that are happening more recently, which is kind of fun. And we also went to Urquhart Castle, which is right on the banks of Loch Ness, and it's huge. So it was actually blown up a couple hundred years ago by the people who were holding the castle at the time. They didn't want it to fall into their enemies' hands, so they just packed it full of gunpowder and goodbye castle. We also went to a really fun pub for dinner up there, and I was eating, you know, my famous pub dinner that I always eat, macaroni and cheese with chips, aka French fries, because I live in Scotland and I do what I want. But the trip went well. The driving process wasn't quite as seamless as it was last time. Poor Joshua. He stayed very cool under pressure and he did a great job, but there were a few harrowing moments. You can ask me about them later if you want to know more details, but we totally survived. It was great. There was a great moment. So Joshua's brother and sister-in-law, they had been to Paris before they came to Glasgow, and they went to a cheese store and they bought some cheese, like some French cheese. And they brought it with them into Scotland. And then we decided to bring it on our trip with us so that we could like have a snack or whatever. And we were really excited about this cheese. We had bought like a baguette. It was going to be great. And we're driving down the highway. And at this point we were driving back from the north, back down to the Glasgow airport because we needed to drop them at the airport. And it was a little bit of a time constraint. So we're just kind of booking it back there. Bit of a long trip, just enjoying the scenery, so much to see. The drive back was incredibly beautiful. It was incredible. But at one point we decided to open this cheese so that we could eat it. And it kind of is crossing all of our minds. Like, is this a bad idea? Like, this might be a bad idea. And it was a terrible idea. Within about 4 seconds of opening it, all of us were trying to find images heinous enough that could even begin to describe what it smelled like. I think I was saying something along the lines of an outhouse in the middle of the woods filled with 20 dead skunks that hasn't been cleaned in like 60 years. Something along those lines. So we had to pull over promptly at the very next little pull-out spot to toss that. So wasn't meant to be with the French cheese, but it made for a funny story, so it worked out. But we are super excited to go up north again next month when our friends come to visit. It's going to be a blast, and it will be kind of a cool experience to go back and visit again a place that we've been before and be able to see that kind of changing as we move more into the warmer seasons and to be able to share that with new people. We're super excited for that, and we're really looking forward to it. So moving through the rest of the summer, Joshua is going to be working on his dissertation. He's got a lot of work to do. Hopefully we can do a bit of traveling as well. Definitely tons to see. We still have a rather long list of places to see in Scotland alone. We still haven't even been to England yet. Not sure what that's about. And we haven't been to any other European country besides Iceland on the way here. So fail. And we've got a lot of work to do. Meanwhile, we're just kicking it at home, having a fun time. We've been watching Broadchurch season 3, which we've really been enjoying. We're huge Broadchurch fans, and it's been really good. So any of y'all Broadchurch fans out there, get excited. And I'm taking up crochet. I'm trying to learn how to crochet. Well, I've already learned several times, including when I was a kid. But this time I'm trying to learn how to do more than just pot holders that don't get used and cost a lot of money because yarn is expensive. So wish me luck with that. It's always great to hear from everyone and to be able to say, hey, let you know what's going on with us. And we send all our love. Bye.